I hope you have had a wonderful day and a wonderful week. It is over, though. It's the weekend. While we're waiting on folks to join, reminding you that coopedup.com is my website. You can visit that at any time. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all the social places. Would love a follow wherever you are, particularly if you're on the Instagrams. And wherever you watch or listen to this, it is aired live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and then rebroadcast in audio format on all of the major podcasting platforms. For those of you who like to listen to me in the car while you're out for a walk or whatever, be sure you click the bell so you get notified that I have come live or posted new content, all of that. Raven saying meow. I know. Super ironic that I wore this sweater today. Hey, Mama, good to see you. So I have had this sweater on since about what I say, like 6:30 this morning. We had a very early start today. Mason had to do a shadow and had to be at a different campus, a private school campus in East Dallas today by 8 o'clock. So this is the sweater I wore today. And then what happens? The Dallas Zoo announces early this morning, I think it was like during maybe the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour or something like that, that the zoo it was kind of a cryptic post at first. It says, due to an emergency situation, the zoo is going to be closed today. And then later they updated it. So there was a cloud leopard is what it is called, that escaped its habitat. Well, they actually don't know what happened. I guess they do a check every day, which that's nice to know that they do that. But they do a check every morning to make sure all the animals are there. And they got to the cloud leopard and no cloud leopard. No cloud leopard to be seen. And so they put out it's called a blue alert, which is less than a red alert because they say that it's a non-dangerous animal. But again, ironic that I was choosing to wear this sweatshirt today. I realize this is a tiger and not a leopard, but it's one of my favorite sweaters. So in the first update that they sent out about this cloud leopard escaping its habitat at the zoo, and by the way, they're like, we're pretty sure it's probably still on the property somewhere. I'm like, well, how would you know that if you don't know that? Like, that's the one thing. But they're like, it's non-dangerous. I'm like, okay. So I Googled cloud leopard, and I'm going to tell you, my Google image search said otherwise. They're like, it's non-dangerous. Google Images is like, oh, looks kind of scary to me. So basically, I'm like, if you have leopard in your name, unless it's like leopard gecko, or like if the leopard is maybe the adjective part of it, I might give you a pass. But if leopard is the noun portion of your name, I'm like, and it has fangs and all of that. No. So then their second update today. So that was the first one that went out like almost immediately after they finally disclosed what was going on. And it was in the news. They've got the Dallas Police Department looking for this thing. By the way, my house is like 3 miles away from the zoo. I could go, it's actually that direction, 3 miles. Super fast to get to. Sure, a cloud leopard could make its way through a bunch of house cats between here and there. Actually, I wonder what they eat. They did send out an alert later that said your animals are probably going, everything is probably, your animals are probably going to be okay. The things that are most likely to be in danger are indigenous species to Texas. So I'm thinking small rodents, squirrels, that sort of thing, right? But how does it know? If I had the chihuahuas still, had them in the backyard, I guarantee you a cloud leopard's going to go for that thing. So in their next update, they were like, again, it's non-dangerous. And they were like, it's about 20 pounds. It's bigger than a house cat. It's smaller than a bobcat. And I'm like, I don't think there's as much comfort in smaller than a bobcat as y'all seem to think there is. No. We have one cat now. We had 2 cats, outdoor cats. And I'll tell you this, anyone who's owned cats knows full well that the last thing you want to do is fuck with an angry cat or a scared cat or a threatened cat. Like any of the above. Like, I don't care if it's a kitten or not. That shit's gonna tear you to shreds. It may not kill you, but it's gonna try its best to do it. So I'm like, nope, do not fuck with an angry cat. 20-pound cat at that, with fangs. I mean, this thing, it's supposedly of the species. Claire was telling me about this, and I believe it. I didn't verify this myself, but she said it of the cat species, it has the longest fangs, like proportionate to its body size. And if you Google search this thing, it's got really long, like almost like saber-toothed tiger, like fangs in the front. And it looks cute enough. It just looks like a little like cheetah or leopard or whatever. But again, leopard. No, not taking it. And here's my other thought on that. I'm going through this a lot faster than I thought, though. My other thought on this thing is, if it's not dangerous, then why close the zoo? Like, why not? Like, are they? So I can see both sides of it. You close the zoo because if the cat is scared, it's going to hide even more if there's a bunch of people in the zoo, right? But if there's people in the zoo, there's a lot more eyeballs looking for it. They don't know if what it's going to act like. So yes, but why close the zoo? One of our teachers lives in the neighborhood immediately next to it. In the neighborhood immediately next to the zoo, it's a beautiful neighborhood, smaller homes, but beautiful, kind of hilly. Because I'll tell you, the Dallas Zoo is one of the prettiest zoos. I love it. I think it is far superior to the Fort Worth Zoo. Everyone says Fort Worth is the best. I think Dallas Zoo beats it hands down. It is so pretty. It's the habitats are, there's not a lot of cages and such, obviously. It's more natural. It's one of the only zoos in the country also where they have species mix.
I'm
like,
sorry.
Why are you talking to me? My watch thought I was talking to it. But like they have elephants and giraffes and like wildebeests and other kinds of things all together in the Africa exhibit. It's very technologically advanced. But I will say, so the neighborhood next to it has peacocks that roam the neighborhood also. So I wouldn't want to be a peacock right now. But this is not the first time they've had an animal escape its enclosure. A bunch of years ago, like recently enough, like we've lived in this house and we've been in this house for 14 years now. They had a gorilla escape while the zoo was full of people. It escaped its enclosure and started attacking people and stuff. I can't remember if it killed somebody or not, but I do know it ended up dying. They ended up shooting it and it died. Hopefully the bobcat doesn't meet the same demise. What's going to be really funny is if this bobcat, because it is from like the lush, dense rainforest, it likes to climb trees, it likes to sleep as high up in a tree as it can get. I know way more about club leopards today than I did yesterday. Wouldn't it be funny though if this thing is actually in its enclosure and they just can't see it because it's such a good so good at hiding, climbing, all of that kind of stuff. I doubt that. Supposedly the Dallas Police Department had its helicopters out. Here's my other thought on that. How you gonna fucking see a cat that's barely bigger than a house cat, supposedly, smaller than a bobcat, which bobcats can do a lot of bad stuff, by the way, but smaller than a bobcat, how are you going to see that from a helicopter? And especially if it's maybe scared or running away or whatever, no. So I just think the whole thing, I'm like, okay. So we will be walking the dogs on a leash this evening. We will be staying inside. Our cat can take care of himself, but the other one, well, here's the other thing. We don't know where our other cat went. We back in August, we got back from a vacation and we saw him for like a week after that. We haven't seen him since. So I think that he has either been picked up by somebody. They're chipped, but somebody might have picked him up or eaten by. We have coyotes. We live on a golf course. There's coyotes all over the place at night. Sandy is saying, my dad lives in Kaufman on the farm road that has Zufari opening up on March the 4th. I'm like, it's one thing that cows get on your property. What happens when a giraffe escapes? Texas Zoo Fair, ZufariPark.com. I'll have to check that out. How far is Kaufman from here? I don't know. Eric is saying, I'm getting to listen to the first few minutes of your show. Flight to Omaha is about to take off. Safe travels. Eric is on his way to Chile, Iowa, to see his family. Eric is from Holstein, Iowa. and he'll be going to visit his dad and all of that. So that's good. Can't remember if your sister Lisa actually lives there or not. But I know your dad lives there still. Yesterday, I'll tell you, yesterday was a totally different subject, unless y'all want to keep talking about this escaped cat. Yesterday, I had a super lucky day. I actually kind of wish it were today instead, because I got on the scale, and for the first time in many, 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 many years, the first number on the scale started with a 1. It was 199.4. So if we're rounding, we're going to say it was 199, but it was 0.1 of a point off. But I was wearing underwear and a t-shirt. I was Pooh Bear in it. But so 199 yesterday. So I was like, I did a little happy dance. I was in the shower and he saw me and he's like, oh, is that good news? I did a little happy dance in the bathroom about it. Then I went and put on a pair of jeans that I have not been able to put on in forever. They either won't close or it's very, very, very uncomfortable to close. They fit a little tight, but not too bad. They just needed to stretch after a little stretch. And thank you. You look so svelte, Beth is saying thank you. And congrats, Sandy. Oh, y'all are so nice to me. So I put on this pair of jeans that I haven't been able to wear in ages. It's just an old pair of like ripped Gap jeans, super cute, all that kind of stuff. But I put my hand in the pocket. I kid you not, there was $75 in cash in the front right pocket of these jeans I have not even put on in years. So who knows how long that money has been in there. I mean, years, obviously, because I haven't even tried. But $75 cash. I pull it out. I'm like, what's this? And at first I thought it was like a dollar bill. And then I see that it's all wrapped up on itself. And I started counting, and it was 3 20s, a 10, and 5 5s, 5 1s. That math adds up, right? It was $75. I know that for sure. But I'm like, okay. I was like, I need to buy a lottery ticket with this, which segs to the very next topic. Is the Mega Millions. Y'all go buy a Mega Millions ticket if you have not, or if you are in Texas, you can do it in the Jack Pocket app, and they give you one for free, the first one for free. And I think it's a promo code is freebie if you don't get it from a link. I sent a link to my mom, to my sister, to Carrie, a bunch of people today, about buying a ticket. But the 1.35 billion. 1.35 billion. That is, did you know that 1 billion is 1,000 millions? Like, that just blows my mind how big the numbers get the higher you go, like the magnitude of them. So it's 1,350 millions. Isn't that crazy? It just blows my mind. So I bought 5 of them, actually. I bought my normal standard set of numbers, 2, 6, 12, 14, 26, with the lucky number 26 on it, or no, lucky number 8. All variations on 26, which is my lucky number. And then I let Mason pick a number set. I let Claire pick a number set. I had Todd pick a number set. And then I did a quick pick for just good measure. So all in, I'm $15 in on this, because I did pay the extra $1 to have a mega plier or whatever. So you could play for $2, and if you get all the numbers, you win the big prize. No harm, no foul, all of that, right? But if you pay the $3, you pay the extra $1 for the mega multiplier, or whatever it's called, mega plier. Any of your winnings that are below that somehow get magnified by like 2 to 5 times, depending on what the mega plier is for that time. Thank you, Eric. I need to add Lisa Marie to my list too. But yeah, the one thing about yesterday, by the way, about finding all that cash, I was like, if you can find a large sum of money that you lost and you did not even realize you lost, like you were not missing it. It did not go missing. It was missing, but it did not go missing. Like you didn't feel like you were missing it. You're probably doing okay in life. That's how I felt. The biggest sum of money I have ever found, because I'm terrible about stashing stuff, thinking that I'm being all smart, and then I can't remember where I stashed stuff, is, and I'm probably telling you, if you're going to rob my house, just pull out every drawer, all of that. I one time found $600 in an envelope in a drawer in my closet, and I have no idea where. I know where it's from. It was in a Frost Bank envelope, and it was from being paid something that I cashed or whatever, right? Like I know, I remember generally where it was from, but I don't recall when, and I don't know how long it had been there. But I was like, okay, um, I was like, okay, I'm doing okay. And I have a theory: found money. I've told y'all this a million times. Found money is not allowed to be used on anything practical or unexpected money. So like the $75, I'm adding it to like the $600 I got for clearing out my grandfather's safe deposit box or whatever. My share of my dad's take of that part or whatever. So I got $675 still sitting, burning a hole in my pocket. I got the 600 right here on my desk. See, this is what I'm saying. I just leave money in envelopes just laying around, totally forgetting that it's here. I think that that's how much is in there. Yeah. As I mentioned at the top of the show, Mason shadowed today at a small private school over in Lakewood, which is in East Dallas today. I've been there 3 times now. Waze has taken me a different route each time. Takes between 20 and 25 minutes so far each time to get there. Only about 15 minutes to get back, because getting there, especially in the morning, the traffic and all that kind of stuff. The afternoon route is a lot faster. But I'm like, this is interesting. At least there are multiple routes to get there. At least it's not just one way in and one way out. But man, I was like, that is so. Let's say, just for rounding, it's 30 minutes. Like, we allow 30 minutes. That if I take him and come home, then go and pick him up and come home, that is going to be 2 hours of my day that I spend being an Uber for my child to go to high school. At least for the first year and a half. Claire actually will get her driver's license in the 9th grade. She'll have her learner's permit in the 8th grade because she's a year behind, like academically. But so she'll be the first. So in March of 2 years from now, 2 Marches from now will be when they can full-time drive themselves. And they will. Claire told me the other day, she's like, I don't think I want to. I'm like, you don't have a choice. We're going to put cameras in your car on the front and in the back. I was in an Alto today to go pick up my car. My car was fixed today. It only went into the shop on Wednesday. They repaired it. It was expensive, though, $2,700. And that was after the warranty paid for a bunch of stuff, but still. So maybe that part of my week was not so lucky. But it did get fixed fast, and it's driving perfectly now. But in the Alto, I noticed they have cameras on the windshield and in the back. And I think the camera on the windshield also looks inside the cabin as well as forward. I'm like, so we're getting those for the kids, so that because I've been in an accident before where the person then just lied to insurance, and then the insurance just both decided not to do anything because I had no proof that person hit me. It sucks. It's actually happened to me twice. To my I've had 4 car accidents in my entire life, and most of them have been just little fender benders, nothing like literally just like body damage. And keep in mind, I've been driving for, what are we now, 32 years. So I think that's a good track record. But the last 2, the person lied, and the insurance said, no, we're just going to file it on your no fault thing or whatever. So that car is in the shop more than your driveway, Aaron said. Not really. I mean, it was in the shop earlier this year because the air conditioner, it is over 6 years old. The air conditioner went out earlier this year, and then it did have to stay in the shop for a while because that was all the part shortage and stuff. But I just took it in for this thing. It was the suspension was starting to act wonky. I took it in. I made the appointment I didn't take it to the dealership. I took it to a specialist for Range Rovers, which is also probably why it went so much faster, but also more expensive. So I took it in on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Wednesday. I took it on a Wednesday. That's what day it was. And then got it back this afternoon. So I'm all good. Eric is saying, if Lisa Marie Presley isn't on your card for today, add her to it. Since I posted about her last night, every third post on my feed is about her, and that's okay by me. Now, who I feel really terrible for is poor Priscilla Presley. So Priscilla has now lost her husband. She has lost her only child. And then I know that Lisa Marie's son, so Priscilla's grandson, died from suicide a few years ago, I believe, like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember if he was an only child also. I believe he was. So all of these onlys. So, okay, at the risk of being insensitive, who inherits all of that now? I mean, maybe there's an Elvis Presley Foundation, Graceland. I don't know. We were at Graceland. I loved it. We went and we took a road trip to Washington, D.C. with my sister, and we stopped along the way and toured Graceland and the museum across the street, which has his airplanes, all of his cars, the costumes, which are insane. Graceland is so bonkers. Like, it is so like just over the top, like 60s design. It is crazy. It's smaller. The house itself is smaller than I expected. My house is larger, but it has multiple buildings. There's a little horse pad in the back, horse pen, whatever. The horse runs around. This is the crazy thing. The horse has to wear goggles because so many people were trying to poke the eyes out of the horse. This is how terrible people are. And then next door to it, so the museum sits across the main road, but next to it is the Graceland Hotel, which is where we stayed. Really well designed, little crazy people in there, but they have a columbarium, which for those of you who don't know that SAT word, is where they put your ashes when you're cremated. They have one of those that faces Graceland, and they are sold out. They were sold out of spots. And I think they only last for like 20 years and they take you out. But people who are such major Elvis Presley fans have their ashes interred at Graceland. And I think that technically it may be on the Graceland property, but it's accessed by the hotel. I vaguely remember something about that. And then at Graceland, they have a cemetery. So Elvis Presley is buried there. His parents are both buried there. I believe they were buried elsewhere and they were exhumed and brought there. And then now the grandchild is buried there. And they say that Lisa Marie is going to be buried there as well. Really cheesy. It looks like something straight out of like the Bronx with like all this white wrought iron and fake flowers and all that kind of stuff. But it was very moving. I'm not gonna lie, I cried walking through it and paying my respects to the Presley family when we were there. But it is down to 3. Okay, so Lisa Marie Presley did have twin girls and another daughter. Okay, that's good to know. So because her son died from suicide. And the outside is Jim and his office. Monica's reminding me all the things. That was fascinating. Like where he played that last game of racquetball. Is it racquetball? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Where the ball bounces around the room and you try to hit it and not get hit by the ball. That was in there. They showed you like where he was. They don't show you the bathroom where he died in, but they made a point to show you like this is the last place he was hanging out before he went to the bathroom. And everyone's correcting me. Lisa Marie has 4 children. And fact that most people forget, Lisa Marie at one point was married to Michael Jackson. Remember? And then he had the music video that I believe she was in. It was a music video where he was shirtless through the You Were Not Alone, I believe. Another day is gone. I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. That that song. I can't think. I think that's the video that it was for. And he's walking around in like a little tunic or sarong or just jeans or pants, but totally shirtless. Something that no one wanted to see. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and I was like, nope, don't want to see that. So, anyway, in the jungle room, yes. The kitchen was bonkers too. It was all carpeted. It was like no one would want that kitchen nowadays. It had all kinds of built-in stuff. So I highly recommend visiting Graceland, though, if you are in or near Memphis. I think it's literally the only nice thing to see in Memphis. I don't know anyone who has anything nice to say about Memphis. Do y'all? Like, I've only heard terrible things about Memphis. And I'm going to say driving through Graceland was the nicest thing I saw. But anyway, I'm sure there are nice parts of town, though, right? Elvis lived there. And TVs everywhere. Yes, there were TVs. He was ahead of his time. And they had like the largest sofa I think I've ever seen in my life. It was in the living room. I believe it was 18 feet long, and it was not a sectional. It was like a regular sofa, like a single cushion across the front and maybe like 3 cushions across the back. That was, or on the bottom, 1 across the bottom, and then, or maybe 2. But anyway, it was not a sectional. Huge. And they did tell us that Lisa Marie actually for the holidays and stuff would go. They celebrated the holidays there. And oftentimes when the family is in residence there, they stay on the second floor, that they still have tours going on. They don't shut it down just because they're there. So they stick to themselves. Monica is saying, do you remember the day we left the homicide detectives walking through the hotel? I do remember. I just remembered it. I totally forgot about that, but yes. So anyway, but rest in peace, Lisa Marie. I love Priscilla Presley in the Naked Gun movies. Those, and I was a kid, I could not watch them enough. I love the Naked Gun movies, obviously like Airplane and that kind of stuff, which Airplane's a lot older. Loved all the Police Academy stuff, but she was the love interest to Leslie Nielsen in all of the, or at least most of the Naked Gun movies. I just think they're hilarious. So that is all I have on my card today. Again, ticket sales for Mega Millions end at 8 p.m. Central tonight. So you have to get your ticket before that. If you're not out and about and you live in a state that allows you to buy them online, Texas is one of those. Jackpocket is the app. You just have to, and that's not porn, that's not a sex toy. Jackpocket is the app where you can get your tickets there. So, and just, you don't want to, if you have a set, this is why I play the lottery every week. Not because I actually think I'm going to win or because I'm addicted to it or anything. I just have a very specific set of numbers that I'm committed to. I play them at roulette. I play them on all these things. And I just do not think I could carry on with life if the winning lottery for any amount, 4 million or 1.35 billion, it'll probably go over that even with as many people buying tickets. If my number showed up and I didn't play, I'd be like, nope. And it's $6 a week that I spend for that. Monica is saying, I'm surprised they allow ticket sales online. They used to not. It's fairly recent. And I still don't believe, by the way, also, if you go buy a lottery ticket in person, you cannot charge them on a credit card. You have to use cash, or I think you can use a debit card even. But at least the last time I tried to do it in person, you cannot use a credit card because they don't want you buying up and going into debt for it. So, all righty. Well, happy Friday evening with that. I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you were loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much. I miss you when I don't get to talk to y'all. I will see you. You know what? I'm not going to be here Monday. Monday is a holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So most of us are off that day. So I plan to maybe go see Avatar again this weekend. I think we're going to go see the 3D version of it. And I don't know when we're going to do that. So, they're now saying the leopard was stolen. Is that what you're reporting in on? This just in. I'll have to look that up too. So, have a great weekend, and I will see you Tuesday at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.